بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وإمام المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Respectable family and brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We continue to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty Allah, would make it possible for we to meet. Now this weekly Tawheed class from this masjid here, so Masjid Mamaori, in our lonely western part of Freetown. We tell Allah thank you for all the guidance, for all the goodness we bestow upon we all. We tell Allah thank you for every moment in between our life. We will still be Muslims then. We will continue for worship Almighty Allah, to continue for doing best, for understand this deen and put them into practice. We will continue with the book we will only study with the Kitab al-Tawheed. We still there under the chapters that will teach you about sorcery. As I've been telling you last time, we get about 4 to 5 chapters them all under this same topic: sorcery and black magic, witchcraft, and the like of then till the day. After we now accomplished the first chapter where we scholar bring up for we when Babu Majaa fi Sihr, one of the chapter we teach we what Islam say with regards to this sorcery. We scholar today on chapter where they can start for study inshallah. He say Babu Bayani Shay'in min Anwa'i Sihr. He say the chapter wherein we want to clarify some types of sorcery. We want to clarify the different types of sorcery. The reason why we scholar bring come for with this chapter, that because when they look at the different nusus them, that is the statements and we come from the different ahadith them, when they talk about this word as sihr, they find out for say this sihr it enter on so many areas them. They enter on so many areas. And since we been not studied the last time for say sihr, na something way na evil, na something way it lead towards shirk akbar, big shirk, na something way they lead towards kufr, and the penalty for them na a very great one, it lead for they then kill the individual because they practice that sihr rape if at all and find them guilty because of all of them things they are so. And the fact that this sihr, this word sihr, it enter upon so many areas them, we scholars here and say it's necessary for they clarify for we the different side them where this word sihr it enter, and which one will be kufr or will lead towards shirk, or which one if it to say and not lead towards shirk. Which one we sometimes the Arabic language and consider and so as sihr, or which one if it to say na by the tradition of the people them then consider them for this sihr, or which one if it to say that the Sharia may consider them for this sihr, so that may you will understand all in different types they are, and we're able to clarify the way we to say the enter inside sihr and the way they enter inside sihr, especially where plenty people in they where they make different claims. Sometimes you will see somebody they do something way extraordinary, when something way like normally refer to them as khariqun lil ada, something way they broke the normal trend. For example, if you see somebody really come also in the kantora, or you see somebody he spread carpet na water, he pray pantapa, This then one then kind of particular practice there, then they broke the normal trend what we know naturally say, and something for possible. Sometimes you go see some of them here from people them, they go claim say then awliya, then Almighty Allah in special friend them. So how to differentiate between there can people there so they do that kind of practice there and the one that we actually in sorcerers them, and the one that we actually they will put jinn at them, and then they subdue themselves to the jinn at them to the extent of worshipping the jinn at them for let them go able to reach them particular status there so in their life. For all of this that make we scholar is here and say necessary for let it clarify for we certain things that will be to say they enter inside sihr, where that the sihr where we they refer to and we don't study, when the will be to say they lead to worship, and they will be to say not just the name no more not a carry, not just the name a carry, but it lead towards shirk billahi azza wa jal. So under this chapter, the scholar they bring come for we about 4 different ahadith them. Then it mentioned for we inside the ahadith there are different types them of sorcery, different types of things them we they use the word sihr for describe them. Let us start with the first one. The first one is قال أحمد حدثنا محمد بن جعفر حدثنا عوف عن خيان بن العلاء حدثنا قطن بن قبيصة عن أبيه أنه سمع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن العيافة والطرق والطيرة من الجبت. قال عوف العيافة زجر الطير والطرق الخط يخط بالأرض والجبت قال الحسن رنة الشيطان إسناده جيد. This is the first athar or first hadith where we scholar blinkan for we, where this athar or this hadith extract from that book they call Musnad al-Imam Ahmad. That make it start by saying Qala Ahmad. The Ahmad we mean naya, the Ahmad bin Hanbal, the personality, the big sheikh will be to say Na'in they refer to as the Madhab al-Hanabila, the Madhab al-Hanabila, when the last Madhab among the 4 famous Madhahib them. We don't come in the Islamic world, you get the Madhab al-Hanafi, the first one, you get the Madhab al-Maliki, the second one, you get the Madhab al-Shafi'i, and the third one, you get the Madhab al-Hanbali. So Imam Ahmad, he gets a whole book which they refer to as Musnad, and he will be not discuss about that book then also one of we lectures them. Now in this particular hadith also with in chain of hadith or in chain of muhaddisin them, so they come to this Sahaba then called Qabisa, we report from Impapa for say the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he talk say إن العيافة والطرق والطيرة من الجبت. He mentioned then 3 things there. We call them so, but like how they had this column. The first one they call them al-Iyafa. The second one they call them al-Tarq. This third one they call them al-Tiyara. They say then 3 things there. They all then come from Egypt. Why make we call it like how we call it so? Because one of the people them within the chain of the hadith, he explained the meaning of each and every item of them 3 things there what they mentioned so from this particular hadith. Qala Auf talks he say al-iyafatu, he say what the meaning of this word al-iyafa, he say zajrul tayr. Zajrul tayr na for release birds. Releasing of birds, but they can explain what that mean. Then he said, "What tarqu?" He said, "The tarq. What do you mean by that? Al khattu yukhattu bil ard." He said, "A line when they draw, na ground. Line when they draw, na ground." Then he said, "Wal jibtu." This word al jibt, he explained from Al-Hasan, he said it means to say Rannatu Shaitan, he said the bell of Shaitan, or the hala, where Shaitan is the hala. And that means by this word, Ajit. Let me come back, let me look at this hadith where he explained to me 3 different types of things when they enter inside a sihr. The first one, they call them al-iyafa. The word iyafa, an Arabic word, where they extract them from the verb afa shay'a ya'ifuhu idha tarakahu. When Arab man say, ana a'afu hadha shay', a'afu hadha shay', it means this particular thing I don't want time. Something I don't left. It can be anything, it can be food. Something a particular type of food. Now food we all man they eat. Me they for me, I say ana a'afu hadha shay', na something where me another eat them, I don't left them. Or maybe I've been eaten before, but now I don't left them. However, I mean for left something, for avoid something. That I mean. But coming to the meaning, where of Ginaya, this is one of the meaning them. That the Iyafa, the actual meaning, they call it Zajrul Tayr. Zajrul Tayr, the word Zajr, now for shake something vigorously. And then the meaning of the word Zajr. Zajrul Tayr, they refer to a particular practice we've been there during the ignorant days before the coming of Islam, where the Arabs they may get a habit whenever they want to do anything, whether on a patrol they want for patrol now, on a marriage they want for marriage now, on a decision they want for make by anything, what they do? What do they do? Then they get a godsend in a particular cage. Then they release them with force. When they release them with force, then they watch now about 3 different things them. One something they bought them where they get, and don't give them names them, different names them. Some they give them fine names, some they give them ugly names. Or maybe them boards here where they get certain colors them on them. Certain colors them on them. All of them here to them, you get something what it mean. The names and get what it mean to them, the colors them of the birds them get what it mean to them. However, the most important side is that they release them birds here. When they release the birds them, then they watch the movement of the birds them. How they move. If the birds them fly towards the west, the right hand, the right side, then say, well, this is the fine thing they want for the show. Then they forge ahead. If they patrol, then forge ahead for the patrol. And believe say, because them birds say they not fly towards the right side, it means who to want for do it fine. If you be to see the birds then fly towards the left side, then go say no, but this sign for sure say this team who want for do this patrol or whatever, enough. So then they stop, then they agree for them at all. Okay? Or maybe now if the birds then move either towards the front and no go right and no go left, or maybe they move towards the back. Then they say, well, this nothing not clear now. Nothing not clear. So let me stop. So this is now one of the practice that we've been there during the ignorant days. That they've been very, very, very popular amongst the Arabs then. Okay? So they call this particular act at-tiyara. We'll go for talk about them more because they mention them as one of the 3 items in this particular hadith. Then a whole chapter go for comfort and the inshallah ta'ala, because this is one of the big problems in where they now plenty sign of the world today. Wherein people then they seek the bad omen based upon certain actions that will happen in front of them. But however, Allah still live on this word al-iyafa. Al-iyafa indirectly they refer to that particular action where the Arabs they do when for release birds. However, releasing of birds, scholars then say there are 2 types there. Sometimes training the birds for hunt. Then get certain birds they can train them for hunt. Then release them birds let them go hunt for them. Then get certain birds and they train them for let them deliver letters. Okay? Then they train the bird, then they give a letter, they put in a mouth, A deliverer outside, they want for a deliverer. So they may get a lot of activities them which connects to the birds what they actually do. But the one will not be the problem one and this one. Wherein them being they look at the movement of the birds for determine the your action the way they want to do. The movement of the birds. Now in they tell them say na for move or not for move. So therefore this again direct effect on their lives. Direct effect on their lives because it get a tendency for change the mindset. Because of this, I made a call on sihr. Now we'll look at the meaning of the word sihr, like how been described in the last time. They say ma khafiya wa la tufasababu. Now anything will be to see the sabab of the height. The main cause of the height is not exposed. Not something tangible, physical way you see with your eyes where you go touch. Rather than something with height. Now imagine somebody just release of birds, it changed a mindset completely. It changed the mindset completely. So you just remember exactly that possible way to sorcery against somebody. We may not learn now so the different kind of ways them sorcery they affect mortal man. Also, you will see it affect mortal man, it put sickness on him. It changed them. You see affect him, so way it not be lack, now. You see affect him. That person will not be lack. Now you lack up. So a change in mindset, then a change in behavior. Okay? What are the main cause of this change of behavior? The height. And something way, apparent, clear in front of we eyes. A clear enough about the physical causes that what we do. Where there is somebody head hurt it take Panadol. If it's okay. If they ask the person, say, why make it not better for you now? He will say, I don't take Panadol. Not so. And everybody said, say Panadol, the medicine for that. But yeah, the person reacts based upon a reason. Oh, no sabi. The reason, the main reason, we don't sabi. Then this particular thing don't cause and don't make an effect in life. We don't change in perception. It don't change in attitude. It don't change in behavior. It may forgo, now they go again. Why? Because then birds say, then they move the direction way in, feel to say, as long as they move through that direction, this patrol is not fine again for them. You clear? This then they call al-iyafa. So this is part of sihr. Not part of sihr. Now, which type of sihr this could be? Is it the type of sihr where they lead towards shirk, or the type of sihr where they lead towards shirk? If I ask you now, what's in the answer? Now. This will lead towards shirk, and they lead directly towards shirk because the person that believes say this movement of the birds it gets effects for change within the happen in the world. That's so. And other than the only one who able for changing the things in the world. No. So therefore, this person that believes say this movement of the birds towards this particular side, that movement it don't become a partner to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that lead for like this time referred to as this type of sihr where they become shirk billah azza wa jal, and it will be big shirk where it will pull the person out of the fold of Islam. The second one they call it at-tarq. This at-tarq, itself again they explain a meaning. They say that a line where they draw the ground. How do they go about this? Now part of sorcery or Moreman business or looking ground business for draw several line them. If you know the sansan then they draw plenty line them at the sansan. Plenty line them. Then get the way then they hot the line them so they left some. Okay? This na then your area. Now they understand how. Now they know how. What are the meaning of the line there? Each line gets a meaning. When you draw and done, then get the way within the efface, the methodology way, the sorcery teach them, say that they efface the line there, then the remaining lines are now, then they read the line then they now for determine the fate of this particular person. For determine the fate of this particular person. So this again, a part of sihr, because ordinary reading of lines don't cause a change in the matter-minded behavior. Then at the same time, this in they become worse because then they take them for read what he hide. For talk say, well, with this particular line in the model left, or then particular line there so don't in the model left, it means this and this to you. It means this and this and this that to you. However, the one the way they go to Moriman. The one way they go to Moriman. Then go tell you, so Moriman then get some books that when they read, we get book line them. When you come to Ram, you tell them your name, you tell them your grandpa in name, or your papa in name, or your mama in name. Then you tell them something and you tell where you born. Then get, based upon the knowledge of sorcery, how then they search for your name, how then they search for the time where you born, under the lines and they will then get that they have. And then line they now then they read for and say, this particular person will belong in this category, that this and this and this will happen to them between this and this time. But then take and tell the person. Sometimes it happens. How the fits and the page. When you go to Moriman Namo, it tell you something. They happen like how it tell you, it then become a big problem. Because you heart they attached to this Moriman. You did believe this Moriman. You did trust this Moriman. You did take your money, you can't go to this Moriman. You take your time, you can't go to this Moriman. You have up on them. You know they have up on yourself anymore. I tell you, if you then check one of the reasons they want to make we lazy in Africa, we are impossible believe for say, for let a catch mortal man, it takes some of him parts and number care and go to Moriman and go make medicine for him for let a gentry quick. So I go work now. And I get quick money. If I catch mortal man and carry him parts and go to Moriman, let them go make some medicine. I gently quick. So I go work, I go think, how you go plan in life, how you go be an entrepreneur, how you go be a successful businessman, or an expert in the field of study where it is. Where he believe for say there is another channel, way easier. When I for just grab and go to this Moriman, that Moriman said on a bush. What did they eat for like get something a problem? He said on a bush for like what did they eat no problem? It is as one of the poorest people not to good house you get for live, not to better life in the ban, then they make a gentry. What's that what a man sense there? So this then they mean by this heart. And they mean by this heart, that is this drawing of lines. However, sometimes one of them will come across an issue wherein or hadith with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, say, one prophet been there will be a draw line. One prophet been there will be a draw line. However, the son of Prophet Idris alayhi salam. They say Prophet Idris alayhi salam, in your wahyu will be the candle from Allah. It come in the form of lines and where it draw. Where it draw. They understand now what the revolution will be to Sri Lanka. So, since then practice has to be there, and practice has to draw a line every day, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he want for clarify the difference between the lining where that particular prophet they been draw, and the drawing of lines we get to do with sorcery. Say, he tell the Sahaba, he say, Kana Nabiyyu min al-Anbiya yakhut فَمَنْ وَافَقَ خَطَّهُ فَذَلِكَ. He said, anybody now able to draw that same line there, whether prophet they will draw, it's up to them. It's okay for them. But is that possible? It's not possible because you're not a prophet. Okay? You didn't get that revolution there with that particular prophet there. You didn't get. So now a kind of challenge, then the prophet said, if you give the people, let's say, to one for draw line. When I want draw line, when I draw the same kind of line way that prophet will draw no. So now a kind of challenge, which was almost impossible. Is clear? So that's another type. The next type, another tiara. This tiara now, na inna the actual seeking of bad omen. The scholars then define and say, huwa tasha'um bi mar'a or bi masma or bi ma'lum. Now for seek bad omen, for something where you see, or word we hear, or something where you now well known something. Where the lead for like you either move forward or you make a setback. You make a setback. For the first one, things the way you see. Imagine you grab early morning no more, you meet up somebody will get YI. You say, well, the fact that I don't meet up this person will get YI, today not bad luck for me. I return back. And I go again. Or you come out no in your house, you meet up some serious accident. You see them with your eyes. Don't that accident the way you see with your eyes, you take it as an evidence for say today a bad day for me, and they return back. And then they forge ahead anymore. Okay, the example of things the way you see, or maybe you wake in the morning and you see the sky dark. But today a bad day. Today a bad day. Or the sun one pass mark. Today a hot day. So therefore be careful of what they do today. Today to find you. Or sometimes something we hear. You don't know your house no more, you want for come out. Now you hear somebody talk one word. That word the way you hear no more, you have to spoil. You say this word or this person talks so, a sign of bad luck. A sign of bad luck. Then you have to turn back. Or you come on your house, you go, you buck your left foot. You see plenty. You buck your left foot. You say, wish I can buck my left foot so. Not a better day for me. I return back in the house. What if you then never go give $10,000 on side? You go back in left foot, you turn back. Mama, what in the apple happen no more? I go for that. Not do so. Or some people you left eye shake. Left eye shake by you. Or right eye shake by you. You say, we left side don't shake. It's not fine. It's not a problem for me. Like, be careful of what they do. When my right hand shake, it's not a fine thing for me. You begin to take, you believe, you put on pardon things there. This now for allow things the way they happen in the world for make a negative change in your life, for change things in your life. Change your movement, change your attitude. Okay? Sometimes there can be people that can seek bad omen upon certain days then. So Monday, Tuesday is a problem for them. Some other person day, Wednesday is a problem for them. Anything on a Wednesday, say that for take 10. Especially if you have a problem, you don't meet on one day, when on Tuesday, so the day where he lost his papa, that be a Tuesday. So for right now, every Tuesday, a Black Tuesday. The one day we've been there during 9/11. What are they now? So we've been there alive. We've been no guest since 9/11. 9/11. What are among Sweden now? We just 9/11. In America, all man but some man there small people in the internet there. Now been a Tuesday happen also. Now Tuesday happen. 9/11. Now Tuesday happened. Yes, the day we Qaeda attack United States. Now Tuesday happen. So they refer to that Tuesday day as the Black Tuesday. Okay? So some people then day again, they get some days them where they or certain months then they say not for married day months and day. Or particular days them for travel, then days in day. Okay? Then go tell you, say they go calculate for you. Anybody will marry this particular month here, there's also problem happen to them. So therefore, not for marry this month. Feel? Understand me? Sometimes some people they get what happen certain time they need. Certain time they need, and they see the bad omen of them time they need. When this time come, I not for do this, I not for do that, I not for do that, I not for do that. Several things then will be to say, nobody no put up by you. You no more. You grab, you make your life miserable. Imagine them if a person living in this world and then can think that way they happen so. Then they control your life. Then they control your life. Then they tell you say move. Then they tell you say no move. Then they tell you say sit down. Then they tell you say move. Imagine how that much money life got down. Well, you see, this is one of the factors that will make Ude be another part of the world. And when all I go agree with me, say this is plenty will happen. Totally. Up to date, so many people them person get in shop in the morning, the first person you want to see the other person. Yes. The other person they want to see. Yes. If a black person come in the locking shop, I'm a locker now, I see you better book. No problem. So man they will open shop, the first person you want to see a woman. If a man come, say no, get bad luck. Some people pull out of this. This is called tiara. But this is just a tip number they give us. A whole chapter they can follow. I know it. A whole chapter they come, or they learn only about this thing, about this bad omen. This bad omen. Even the things in which something they na positive one them. Instead, if you be to say anybody move you, if you, for example, certain thing in the way you go see, when you see them, you say, but this is a fine thing. If you be to say you need to move past, you see that thing there, then it's again, no problem. It's clear? But inshallah ta'ala, we will study down in detail when the time comes, inshallah ta'ala, within a few weeks and when they come ahead of we. Yes, so we scholar mention, if it's can this hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we mention all the three things there. Al-Iyafa, in a specifically for release the birds and watch the direction outside the birds and they go, and take that direction, they determine what you want for them. And allow that direction, they would make a change in your life. The second one, a line say within the draw. And for it, the line say and believe say the line say then get certain things the way they mean to you. Then you base all your actions on the line that they. Then the third one is the tiara. Tiara, now forsake the bad omen of things the way you see, or something where you hear, or something when a well-known something them. You take and make something where you allow for change your behavior, change your attitude. There are three things they also open. The hadith they say mean Egypt, all in Egypt. The last time we don't study this word Egypt, where Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, he said the word Egypt, Nasihr, he said sorcery, and that he mean when the Quranic verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell me say alam tara ila alladhina utu nasiban min kitabi yu'minuna bil jibti wa taghut. Say they don't see them want me to say they don't get the portion of the book. They believe in the Egypt and they believe in Sihr and they believe in the Taghut. Both of them towards there we will not study them in detail with previous lectures. The next one, the hadith come from Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhuma قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من اقتبس شعبة من النجوم فَقَدْ اِكْتَبَسَ شُعْبَةً مِنَ السِّحْرِ زَادَ مَا زَادَ. Rawahu Abu Dawud. This hadith comes from Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, where the report said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talk say, Man iktabasa, anybody will seek the knowledge, shu'bata min al-nujum, of part of the stars then. فَقَدْ اِكْتَبَسَ شُعْبَةً مِنَ السِّحْرِ, that person they don't seek portion of the knowledge of sihr. Zada ma zad, anyhow he seek more of the knowledge of the stars then. Now so again he could seek more of the knowledge of sorcery. What do I mean by this? This is a little bit another chapter where inside the devil come specifically in column Babu Tanjim. At Tanjim, now the study of the stars and the movement of the stars and the knowledge of the movement of the stars. The study of the stars is divided mainly into two parts. I get the one way and the forbidden one. When I end the try for teaching that this hadith, we then call them ilmu ta'thir. Ilmu ta'thir, that the knowledge of the stars where they change the attitude and behavior of the individual. How that they happen? People that they study the stars they understand the different names of the stars Then they look at the stars and say, whenever this star moves towards this direction, or this star and this star, they all come together, it means this and this will happen, and they won't. Or they look at you when you tell them, they tell where you're born, then they search out among the stars them where they match with, they tell where you're born. Then they go tell you now, say this particular star you born during this particular time, you get this particular star. And because you belong to this particular star, something will happen to you. So this now for read the movement of the stars then and extract from that one day a particular knowledge of things that will happen on the ground. And believe for say, then situations there of the stars they get a tendency for change what will happen in the world, or for directly control things that will happen in the world. So this again a problem. This a problem a part of sihr. A part of sihr because we not sabi the stars them for that day. We sabi the stars them for what you want to tell you about them in the Quran. One of them, the stars them get three main functions. Three main functions. Now listen to this. One of them for beautify the sky. وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحِ. This is now one of the function of the stars. That make, if you get place beautified, Allah will make it sky dresser. So if you say you get your house, you get your car, dresser. Allah teach me beauty. Not a problem for lay. If you light for dinner your house, you make a lay for a lantern, not a problem. I don't see the lantern of the sky. The stars and look how when the stars appear plenty on the sky. You look at the sky, look how beautiful. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك واشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك.